you definitely have to ask yourself, what is Zillow's core business worth now? Because this is, I don't necessarily want to call this a thesis busting news piece. It's definitely thesis changing.
Yeah.
It makes it a different kind of company. It makes it more of a value stock than a growth stock, as I kind of said yesterday. Not that Zillow's business is completely mature, but definitely compared to iBuying.
Right.
So here are my biggest problems with this. There's three problems I have with how this went down. One, the misleading communications. I'm not saying they knew this was going to happen at the time of that iBuying report in September, but when they put out the thing pausing the iBuying business a couple weeks ago, they had to have known this was happening.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had to have, the decision has to have been made by that point, or they made this in a quick knee-jerk decision in like a week. One of those has to be true. So either poor shareholder communication or misleading shareholder communication. Two, they have more data on residential real estate than any other company in the world. How are Opendoor, OfferPad, and Redfin's unit economics better than Zillow's and more consistent? How is that a failure of data management? Is probably the best way I could put it. And number three, the Zestimate is why people go to Zillow to see what their house is worth. That's half the time I go to Zillow. It's to check a Zestimate for something. I'm sure you guys are in the same boat. This is essentially them saying we don't know how to price houses. The Zestimate is just a toy. It kind of devalues some of their core business in a way, because it's saying that the data they've been collecting isn't that great. So I have those problems, and I like Jason said, I'm not rushing to sell. Is Zillow at 30% less than it was a week ago? Is that worth it for the core business? I don't know. I need to take a closer look at it. Plus, I wanted to be able to talk about it today, so I didn't hit the sell button. But so those are my problems with the deal. I don't know. Any other thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think going back to the whole communication thing, like they said that they're only serving like a small subset of their market, and even as they're like way overpaying for houses, and OfferPad CEO said to MarketWatch, let me tell you, the easiest thing to do is buy homes. If you pay somebody enough money, they're going to sell your home. And I don't understand like how Zillow could even screw that up. They were overpaying on so many houses, and yet they were only converting 10% of it. So, with some of that, like just completely not understanding the market. And it just bothers me that they got that so wrong on how they're pricing homes. And then their competitors even going out and saying Zillow doesn't know how to execute. And that is the really thing that I think is bothering me about Zillow, is just how poorly they executed this whole thing, communicating to shareholders, buying and selling homes. Like, did they just have a bad business model? And I know each one of the iBuyers kind of has their own little thing. Like OfferPad, they actually internalized the construction management side of it. Like, would that have helped Zillow? There's so many more questions and answers with this, and it makes me wonder, can they even execute on their core business going forward? Because I like the core business. I didn't like the iBuying business. I thought that a much better option for Zillow would be to partner with an OfferPad or an Opendoor and offer iBuying through that. But I even question whether they can execute that right now. And that just seems to be the big thing that their competitors are saying. Zillow's biggest problem is execution. And but I still want to see how these companies executed too. Like OfferPad and Opendoor haven't reported earnings yet, so we don't really know if they were able to execute during this period. So we just need so much more data to like really make a good decision on what Zillow's worth, what iBuying's worth. It's like there's almost more questions right now than answers.